The society gets a lot out of working with fresh faces, bringing new ideas. I think it wants to move very much away from its traditional, perhaps established roles, working with the bigger centres, to engaging with a much wider sort of representation of the membership of the society, really reaching out to people who might not traditionally have considered going for these roles. And we want to represent our membership more widely, and having new faces, people who perhaps from different backgrounds who might not traditionally consider going for these roles, is going to be critically important.
It's nice to be involved with all these different activities with the society and trying to develop the way the society moves forwards. And I think we need all those different aspects, don't we? We're developing the younger people with the leadership and development. We're reaching out to the public with the Public Engagement Committee and the Clinical Committee of trying to move endocrinology and make sure we stay at the forefront of developments there and education side of things. I think they're all really important to do, and I'd encourage everyone to get involved in these kind of committees and help develop our society.
So we have a science committee, which is obviously to promote basic science within the community. We have a clinical committee which looks after our clinical members and which promotes clinical endocrinology. We have a public engagement committee. It's very important that we disseminate our results to the general public in a way that's understandable to everybody and basically promote our discipline. We have a corporate liaison committee. We have a finance committee. The finance committee obviously looks at the finances of the society. I see some of the accounts from the society, and that's obviously been quite a learning curve. I'm not an accountant, but in the last few years I've become au fait with financial management and financial accounting, which has been interesting for me. So there's a whole range of committees that you could get involved with, depending on your interest.
The clinical committee, which I'm involved with, the Society of Endocrinology, is overarching, really deals with a lot of various clinical aspects of endocrinology, and it's probably the busiest of all of the clinic involved with most. So it's involved with a lot of guidelines. It feeds back around peer review of different endocrine centres. It's involved with what we're doing educationally and how that's developing. How the programme of developing registrars and their training we review at this committee. So it's a busy committee. It covers all aspects of the clinical aspects of endocrinology.
I have learned so much. Sort of how to manage my patients. Sometimes we just send an email around the clinical committee. We can't find this particular way of a cannula that patients may need. Does anyone have any ideas? How does anyone solve this? Has anyone had any problems with this drug? So it's very practical at times. So clinical skills, leadership skills, and some amazing relationships that I've formed with people that I may otherwise have never really got to know.
My role on the Public Engagement Committee is really thinking about getting public and a lot of the time schools involved with endocrinology and teaching them a lot more about it. So we have a website that we're developing called You and Your Hormones, which gives information to patients about endocrine conditions in language that's suitable for them. But also we've recently got that accepted for to be used as officially used as a teaching resource for schools.
The Society mainly works with secondary schools because it's part of the national curriculum, so from age 11. But we also do outreach events aimed at younger children as well, just to teach them about science and really get them interested in science. We would really encourage people at all career stages, PhD students, postdocs, clinicians, scientists, to participate in and volunteer themselves to help with these outreach activities. It's really good for us as endocrinologists, but it's also good for the schools.